So I thought I would just record a slight stream of consciousness here because it's become very apparent that the left simply does not understand what is happening at the moment, right? Why the right is acting in the way that the right is acting. They don't know why things seem to be going so far off of the rails, and it's actually kind of strange and beautiful to watch. Not what is actually happening. I actually don't think that the Republicans and some of the more sort of hard edge of the MAGA movement should go quite as far as they're going at the moment with the positions that they're taking and some of the things that they are doing. I actually don't think that's terribly useful in the long run. And I can see many people on the left who are just recoiling in horror at what's happening. What has Steve Bannon done just now? What has Trump just said about Zelensky just now? What is Elon tweeting about Zelensky just now? Like, what are they doing to these various constituencies that we care about? What is going on? And the answer is these people have become untethered from your moral system entirely, right? They have arrived at the point where they are saying, we do not care about your moral judgments. And I can tell you why this has happened, right? For years, the left has refused to engage with their opponents. It's literally this simple. You can find a million mainstream left-wing centrist, but actually incredibly left-wing, agrees with the radical communists on everything, right? Everything is gay race communism to the left, all of it, right? From like the Rory Stewarts, who would consider themselves like, centrist dads, to the Ash Sarkar literal revolutionaries who are literally communists, right? The entire spectrum at this point is radical left. And the entire spectrum of the left has decreed it can never actually speak to the right. And so you've got podcast after podcast, TV show after TV show, newspaper column after newspaper column, just condemning the right without ever engaging with them. And just saying, you're bad people, you're bad people, you're bad people. We'll never listen to your opinion. We'll never have you in the room while we're calling you bad people. We will never have you explain yourself in a charitable and honest way. So we will try and understand your perspective because we're too busy calling you bad people. And the right has got to the point where they're just saying, okay, we do not care anymore. We are not looking for your approval now because it's become apparent that such a thing will never come. We cannot have some sort of discourse and dialogue where we have an understanding of each other's concerns and we try to work towards a mutually agreed solution. That is just off the table now, right? What's happening is that Trump, Bannon, Elon, the rest, they're just here to crush you. They're going to just crush you. They've decided that you are not worth having in their civilization anymore as a political force. That's why they're defunding everything that you've done. All of the left-wing apparatus that was used to prop up this one-sided propaganda industrial complex is going. They're going to ruin it all for you. And they're going to do it because you would not sit down and take them seriously. You would not sit down and give them the respect that, frankly, they deserved to have. And you're still not doing it. I'm still seeing shitlib podcast after shitlib podcast that just sounds like the most full-throated YouTube communist revolutionary. And I'm like, okay, so they've learned nothing. They have modulated themselves in no way. They haven't reconsidered any of their positions. And they refuse to move from the most radical left-wing perspective to even just slightly budge towards the center, even though this is all good stuff that is being done. Right? Elon is saving the taxpayer an unbelievable amount of money, and that will translate into people paying less tax. That's good for them. Anyone on the left should be able to say, yeah, okay, I understand. I wanted massive amounts of wealth redistribution because I think I can save the world through welfare, but I also can at least understand why you would do that. And for some reason, instead, all we get is this constant cacophony of everyone's this, everyone's that, everyone's a Nazi, everyone's a fascist, everyone's evil, everyone's bad, everyone's a racist, everyone's this, everyone's that. And now you've got Steve Bannon throwing up Roman salutes just in front of an entire crowd and not caring. Like Elon did it, he was autistic. Calvin didn't, he was trolling, but I don't know if Steve Bannon is trolling. I think he's just like, fuck you. And you made him happen. You made him come to this point. You need to start sitting down and having an actual discussion with people. This name-calling, slander politics has to come to an end. And if it doesn't come to an end, don't be surprised when they show you no mercy. Don't be surprised at all when literally you're just like, look, please don't defund this. And they're like, no, that's already gone. What are you talking about? We defunded that before I walked in the room. That's gone. Don't lock that person up. No, we've decided this person's a criminal and we're locking them up. Oh, well, but I mean, can we have a reasonable discussion about this? And they will laugh in your face. They were like, no, you sowed the fucking wind. You are going to reap the whirlwind. You are getting this as hard and as deep and as fast as we can make it. And we are going to make these cuts last forever. You are going to be forever scarred by the damage they're going to do to you. And you've done this to yourselves. This is your own fault. None of this would be happening. Trump, do you not notice how almost every one of your most powerful arch enemies, the people who want you destroyed and are currently in the process of tearing down everything you've built since the Obama administration, does it not make you weirded out that every single one of them is an ex-Democrat? Every single one used to be on your side, and now they loathe you with the fury of 1,000 suns, and now they are going to scorch you out of existence. They are going to destroy the woke mind virus, and they're going to enjoy doing it. They're literally going to burn you down because you couldn't be reasonable. And it's like you still don't understand this. And it's just frustrating, to be honest. It's just really frustrating how you are unable to have a reasonable conversation with anyone. Like, literally, you are you are genuinely controlled by a woke mind virus, right? They're not wrong when they make that assessment. And everyone can see it. Every single one can see it. And I know, like, you've got this impulse and you're like, God, I need to call them a racist. No, they're all going home. They're all going home. Do you understand? They're going home. It doesn't matter how much you say the magic word, racist, doesn't matter. They're going home. You can screech the word racist into the void forever. They are going home. Ask why. Ask why. Ask why you can't have a discussion about that. Ask if there can be any concord. Ask something, or watch your entire project get vaporized by people who think that they are on a crusade. Literal crusader crosses on them. They are coming to wipe you out. Can you be reasoned with in any way, shape, or form? Can you be brought to understand that you are in fact in this way the architects of your own demise? Or will it literally be that in 200 years' time, there is a historical note in the history textbooks? There was something called the woke movement. You may have heard of them. They were much like the Cathars or the Bogomils or some other, the Platonic, Pythagoreans or something like this. Like a weird religious sect took over this city, like the Anabaptist of Munster or something. And what happened? Well, there was a crusade against them. They got wiped out. And that was the end of that. And that's why there are no more of these people around. And everyone was like, okay, well, that was really crazy. Look at the crazy things they believed. And believe me, when your beliefs are represented in history books, you're going to look fucking bonkers. Genuinely mad. You're going to look like modern lobotomists. Like, you are going to look insane in the history books. Do you understand? And just at no point, it doesn't have to be a scorched earth campaign that is waged against you. You just have to admit you were wrong about a bunch of stuff. That's all you have to do. You just have to go, maybe we've gone too far on that. Maybe we're not correct about that. Maybe there's a reason that the democratic Rousseauian general will has revealed to us through the ballot box, because surely this is what you must believe, that in fact we were wrong. And that was our particular wills that was informing our really nonsense policies. And so maybe we should do some sort of introspection. Maybe we can admit that it was us and not everyone else. But I know that you won't do that. I know that if a single left-winger watched this video and please do let me know if you do, I know you will admit nothing. I know you will say, like Jeremy Corbyn, we may have lost the election, but we won the argument, as your movement is scoured from existence by furious ex-Democrats who are just so tired of hearing of you and anything you do, and just have understood that a drop of leftism is poison now, and so it all has to go. And that's, you know, I agree with them, to be honest. I think a single drop of leftism is poison at this point. Again, all of it could have been talked out. You could have made reasonable concessions. Could have said, yep, we understand that you think that is too far. And therefore, because we respect you as our fellow countrymen, we won't do that. And the right would have said, okay, fair enough. Well, we understand that you think that's too far. So because we respect you, we won't do that either. We would like some other concessions, and you would say, well, we want some concessions on this, and that's fine, and we would negotiate. We would have a discussion about it. We would understand the fundamental legitimacy of each other's position, and we would say, right, well, we'll come to a compromise that makes sure that everything works well and make sure everything happens as it ought. But I know you can't do that. I know you won't do that. And so I'm just letting you know you are heading for oblivion, and everyone will cheer when you are gone.